Welcome to the world of science fiction stories, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel. Enjoy the listening. Earth's response to the Galactic Empire's enslavement of human children. The small colony on Proxima Centauri had gone silent 3 weeks ago. Earth's Space Command first thought it was just broken communications equipment. This happened often on new outposts. When the team sent to check arrived, they found something much worse. The buildings were empty, tools lay on the ground where they had been dropped. Hundreds of colonists were missing, only some adults remained alive. They had serious injuries and told a scary story. Large ships had appeared in the sky without warning. Aliens wearing armor came down to the colony. They moved past all defenses like they weren't even there. Then they did something terrible. They took all the children under 16 years old and left. Admiral Kim Ju looked at the floating display in front of her. Her face was pale as she read reports from 3 other colonies. The same thing had happened there too. Her hand shook slightly as she scrolled through the images of empty children's rooms and abandoned toys. "General Kang, do we know who did this?" she asked, turning to the man standing beside her. General Kang T nodded grimly. "Yes, intelligence has confirmed it. It's the Tagan Empire." Kim felt her blood run cold. Everyone knew about the Tagan Empire. They controlled almost a third of the Milky Way galaxy and included dozens of different alien species. Earth and its few colonies were very new to space travel, only about 50 years. Until now, the big galactic powers had left humans alone. "They're targeting only our children," Kim whispered, feeling ice spread through her veins. "But why?" She stood up and walked to the large window overlooking Earth Command headquarters in Seoul. The night sky above showed stars that once seemed peaceful but now felt threatening. Colonel Yun Subin entered the room carrying more data tablets. "Admiral, we have reports from the Moon Colony. They tried to fight back." She handed over the tablet with shaking hands. Kim read the report and closed her eyes briefly. "They were slaughtered." "Yes, but they managed to capture some video before." Colonel Yun couldn't finish the sentence. Kim played the video. It showed tall beings in dark armor moving with frightening speed. Their helmets had no visible eyes, just smooth curved surfaces that reflected the colony's lights. They moved with purpose, stunning adults who tried to fight and carefully collecting children. Some parents had hidden their children. The armored aliens used small devices that somehow detected the children through walls. They knew exactly where to look. General Kang said quietly, "And look at how they handle the children, carefully, like their precious cargo." Kim noticed that too. The aliens weren't violent with the children. They used some kind of light that made the children fall asleep peacefully before carrying them away. The survivors from Proxima said they heard the aliens talking to each other. Their translators picked up fragments about perfect specimens and neural plasticity, Kim noted. Dr. Gunn entered the command center. As Earth's leading xenobiologist, she had been analyzing all available data. "Admiral, I believe I know why they want our children specifically." All eyes turned to her. Human children have unusually adaptable brains compared to most known species. Their neural pathways are extremely flexible until about age 16, if the Tagan Empire has technology to exploit this. She didn't need to finish. "They're harvesting our children for their brains?" General Kang asked, his voice rising with anger. "Not exactly," Dr. Gunn explained. "More likely, they want to train them, reshape their thinking. Human children can learn new languages, adapt to new environments, and form new neural connections faster than most species. In the wrong hands, this ability could be very valuable." Admiral Kim turned back to the window. "How many children have we lost so far?" Colonel Yun checked her tablet. "Over 5,000 from the 4 colonies, and we just received word that ships matching the Tagan design have been spotted near Mars." "Mars has over 10,000 children in its colonies," Kim said quietly. Her own niece and nephew lived on Mars. "We have to respond," General Kang urged. "We should send every ship we have." Kim shook her head. "The Tagan Empire has technology far beyond ours. If the Moon Colony's defenses couldn't stop them, our ships won't either. We need to be smarter than that." She turned and faced the room. I want all remaining colonies to begin evacuation of children back to Earth immediately. Use everything we have and contact the diplomatic corps. We need to establish communication with the Tagan Empire. You think we can talk to them? Yun asked doubtfully. We have to try, Kim replied. And while we're talking, we'll be planning. They may think we're primitive and weak, but they've made a terrible mistake. Her eyes hardened. They threatened our children. Dr. Gunn looked troubled. Admiral, even if we manage to contact them, what can we offer? If they want our children for their neural abilities, they won't simply stop because we ask nicely. Kim nodded. That's why we need to learn more about them. Every species has weaknesses, fears, needs. We find those and we use them. And if diplomacy fails? General Kang asked. Kim looked down at a picture on her desk, her family, including her sister's children on Mars. Then we show them that threatening human children was the worst mistake they could make. She turned to her staff. Contact Director Park at the Advanced Weapons Division. Tell him to activate Project Nemesis. The room went silent. Project Nemesis was a secret research program that officially didn't exist. Rumors said it developed weapons based on alien technology found decades ago. Are you sure? General Kang asked quietly. Once we go down that road. They've already chosen the road we're on, Kim said firmly. They just don't know where it leads yet. As her team rushed to carry out orders, Kim stared at the latest images coming in from Proxima. Empty children's beds, a stuffed toy dropped in a hallway, a classroom with half-finished drawings still on the tables. We're coming for you, she whispered to the missing children, and heaven help anyone who stands in our way. The silver diplomatic vessel carrying Earth's representatives docked at the massive Tagan station. The station hung in space like a giant metal flower, its petals stretching for kilometers. Ambassador Park Juno straightened his formal blue uniform and looked at his team. They all shared the same grim expression. Remember, Park said quietly, no matter what we see or hear, we must stay calm. We represent all of humanity now. Dr. Bei Jinsu, Earth's leading expert on alien cultures, nodded. The Tagan value control and power above all else. They will try to make us angry to show our weakness. The airlock opened with a soft hiss. 4 tall aliens waited for them. The Tagan had pale blue skin and long limbs. Their faces featured 6 small eyes arranged in a circle and thin tentacle-like appendages where a human might have a mouth. They wore elaborate armor that seemed to shift colors in the light. Follow, one said simply through a translation device. No introductions, no welcome. The humans were led through long hallways filled with different alien species. Some looked almost human, while others were completely strange. Park noticed that many seemed to be working in service roles, cleaning, or carrying items. He also noticed something troubling. Many of the smaller workers appeared to be children of various species. After walking for 15 minutes, they entered a grand room with high ceilings. At the center sat Subprefect Dahl on an elevated platform. The Tagan official was larger than the others, with skin that shifted to a deeper blue. The facial tentacles were longer and adorned with small metal rings. The human representatives may approach, an announcer said. Park and his team walked forward and stopped at the marked line on the floor. He began the speech he had prepared. Honorable Subprefect, we come from Earth seeking the immediate return of our children who were taken from our colonies without permission. This action violates the basic rights of... You were not given permission to speak, Dahl interrupted, the translator making the voice sound flat and cold. You will listen first. Park fell silent, his hands tightening into fists at his sides. The Tagan Empire has existed for 12,000 of your Earth years, Dahl said. We have brought order to chaos across 1/3 of this galaxy. Your species has only recently learned to travel beyond your own planet. You are like infants playing with dangerous tools. Dr. Bei whispered to Park, this is typical Tagan speech. They establish dominance first. Dahl continued, we have observed your kind for decades. While your technology is primitive, your offspring possess something rare and valuable, unique neurological adaptability that makes them excellent candidates for our educational enhancement program. Park felt cold anger spreading through his chest, but kept his face calm. Your children will serve valued roles throughout the Empire after proper conditioning, Dahl said, using the word conditioning as if discussing animals. They will have better lives than they would on your struggling colonies. This should please you. Park stepped forward. Subprefect, with respect, we consider this kidnapping and enslavement. Return our children immediately. Dahl's facial appendages twitched in what might have been amusement. Your species' claims of sovereignty are not recognized by imperial law. Your technological development is insufficient to qualify for protected status. The taking of sentient beings against their will is wrong by any moral standard, Park argued. Morality is subjective. Imperial law is absolute, Dahl replied. The collection will continue as scheduled. Colonel Min Hayok, the military representative on Park's team, could no longer stay silent. You call it collection? These are our children, not objects to be gathered. Two guards moved closer, their weapons humming with energy. Dahl's 6 eyes blinked in sequence. Your emotional response confirms your species' immaturity. The decision is made. This audience is over. Wait, Park said quickly. Surely we can reach an agreement. Earth can offer resources, cooperation. Earth has nothing we need, Dahl interrupted, except its young. A smaller Tagan approached Dahl and whispered something. Dahl's tentacles rippled in what seemed like satisfaction. I am informed that our ships have just completed a successful collection at your Mars colony. The yield was excellent, over 7,000 juvenile humans acquired. Park felt like he'd been punched. 7,000 children from Mars just taken. You've made a terrible mistake, he said, his voice low and steady despite his rage. Humans will not accept this. Your acceptance is irrelevant, Dahl replied. What can your primitive species do against the Empire? Your weapons cannot penetrate our shields. Your ships cannot match our speed. Your protests are merely noise. Park looked around the room at the other aliens present. Some seemed uncomfortable, looking away when his eyes met theirs. Not all in your empire agree with taking children, Park observed. Dahl's color darkened slightly. The concerns of lesser species are noted but ignored. The humans will serve the greater good of the Empire. In time, they may even thank us for elevating them from their primitive existence. We will never thank you for stealing our children, Park said firmly. This discussion is over. You will be escorted back to your vessel, Dahl said with finality. As they were led away, Dr. Bay whispered, Ambassador, did you notice the children working here? Some looked like they had been altered, cybernetic implants, strange markings. Park nodded slightly. I saw, they're not just taking our children to teach them, there's something more happening. Back on their ship, the team sat in shocked silence. The communication screen blinked with an incoming message from Earth. Park accepted it. Admiral Kim Ju's face appeared. Ambassador, how did it go? They refused all discussion. They see us as primitives with no rights, Park reported. And Admiral, they just took 7,000 children from Mars. Kim's face hardened. We know, we've also lost contact with the Europa outpost. They're not going to stop, Park said quietly. No, they're not, Kim agreed. Ambassador, get your team home safely. The diplomatic approach has failed. As their ship pulled away from the station, Park looked out at the vast Tagan fleet surrounding it. Ships of all sizes moved with purpose, some heading toward Earth's solar system. They think we're weak, Colonel Min said, joining him at the window. They think we'll just accept this, Park turned to him. Then they know nothing about human history. When our children are threatened, there is nothing we won't do to protect them. As if to confirm his words, the communication system beeped again. This time it was President Kang himself. Ambassador, return home immediately. The Security Council has just approved the activation of Project Nemesis. Park felt a chill. Project Nemesis was the code name for Earth's most classified weapons program. Yes, Mr. President, we're on our way, he replied. The diplomatic ship accelerated away from the Tagan station, carrying home the news that would change humanity's path forever. Diplomacy had failed. Now would come Earth's true response. Deep within Saturn's rings, hidden among the ice and rock, a facility that officially did not exist hummed with activity. To outside observers, the small research station was simply monitoring the composition of Saturn's beautiful rings. The truth was far different. Dr. Lee Minjai walked through the secure doors that opened only to her unique bio-signature. She was small in height, but carried herself with the confidence of someone used to command. Her dark hair was cut in a practical style, and her eyes missed nothing as she surveyed the busy laboratory. "Status report," she said to her deputy, Dr. Song, who rushed to keep up with her brisk pace. "All systems ready," Dr. Song replied. "The last simulation exceeded expectations. The Void Lance works perfectly." They reached the main control room, where dozens of scientists and military personnel worked at stations. A large window looked out into a massive testing chamber where a sleek black device hung suspended in an energy field. "That's it," asked a new voice. "That small thing is our great hope." Dr. Lee turned to see Admiral Kim Ju and President Han Dion entering the control room. They had arrived from Earth via the secret quantum transport system, another technology the rest of the galaxy didn't know humans possessed. "Size isn't everything, Admiral," Dr. Lee said with a small smile. "The Void Lance doesn't look impressive, but it can disable any Tagan ship without destroying it, important if we want to recover our children safely." President Han approached the window, studying the device. He was a tall, serious man who rarely smiled these days. "Explain how it works, Doctor, in simple terms." Dr. Lee nodded. "The Tagan Empire ships use a specific type of energy field to power their systems. The Void Lance creates a targeted disruption that safely shuts down their technology.